It's a commonly held belief that women are solely responsible for the mistreatment that they receive at the hands of men. The belief is expressed in a way that sounds somewhat like this: you women are responsible for teaching men how to treat you. And I'm throwing the bullshit flag on that play because uh, we're not responsible for anyone but ourselves. Once we're an adult, we're responsible for our own behavior. So by the way that a woman dresses, the way that she talks, where she lives, what she does, what she doesn't do, what she may take from a guy because of her low self-esteem or whatever, none of that has to do with teaching him how to treat her. And some of the guys, even go further, as I discussed in the earlier video today. They will go further and disrespect women intentionally, then turn around and blame her for, quote, allowing them, end quote, to do that to her. Now, I'm curious to know how she's supposed to stop you. You start mouthing off, you popping off at the mouth and saying some foul, disrespectful, stupid shit to her. What's she supposed to do? Pull out a gun and blow your face up? I mean, that'd be about the only way that she could stop you. And it still didn't stop you because you already did it. And she's just retaliating for you doing it. But there's no way short of, cutting off the tongue of every single man on the planet, which actually may not be a bad idea. But you just, you can't stop men from talking disrespectfully to you or behaving disrespectfully to you. The only power that you have is that you don't have to sit around and take it. Now, once they do it that one time, then you throw up the deuce and you be out. But to try to put responsibility for what's supposed to be a mature adult male's behavior onto a woman, making it her obligation to chastise and correct him like a child, is just stupid. I don't know where this belief system originated from, and I don't know why so many people think that it makes sense. It makes no sense at all. It's making the men, it's infantile. I can't even talk right now. But basically, it's making men out to be like infants. They are so incapable of controlling themselves and behaving in ways that are responsible and mature that women have to do it for them. So every woman on this planet is charged with being a mommy to these irresponsible dudes who can't control their mouth and can't control their actions. Now, this is especially prevalent in the black community because for some other unknown reason, which I still don't know, black women have, like, for generations, been assigned the responsibility of protecting and uplifting and taking care of adult males like they were babies. They're like taking responsibility for men so that they really believe that they don't have to take responsibility for themselves. Every single thing, including global warming, is blamed on black women by black men. And that this is ridiculous. Now, in this situation right here, I'm not going to be limiting my conversation to black people because this issue is across the board, where women are assigned responsibility for, quote, teaching men how to be whatever. But I just wanted to throw that in there because of the social structure that is prevalent in the African American community. This kind of mentality is widespread and it runs very deep. But whatever. I mean, no matter which race or ethnicity, whatever, this stuff applies to here in the United States, it's crazy. It needs to stop. It needs to stop immediately, like yesterday. It needs to stop. Now, a huge part of this, though, is that women have been socialized by men, and I hate to use this term because it's become kind of cliche, the patriarchal society in which we live that elevates men to statuses much higher than a woman for doing nothing but having a dick. So these women are socialized to believe that they have the power to make men change and that they're responsible for doing so. It's also romanticized when you think about it. They'll not necessarily an obligation or responsibility, but it's romanticized in books and movies. The overwhelming theme is that, well, when a man finds a quote good woman, he'll change for her, that she will have power over him to, quote, make him change. So you see what I mean? Even though it's not really positioned as a responsible obligation, it's still exactly what it is. That's not romantic. That's just some old fluffy way to still make you responsible for a man. Stop acting a fool and get his grind on and be a man. It's still put in your lap to do. So I wanted to talk about that because in reality, ladies, the only men are what they are. The only person on this planet that has the power to make him change is him. That's it. Nobody else. So you should never think that anything that you do will, quote, make a man respect you. You don't, how you dress, how much makeup you wear, what kind of way you wear your hair, how you walk down the street, whether you in the house at 10 o'clock p.m. by every night sharp, none of that has to do with males respecting you. Those are the excuses that they use to victimize you, but that doesn't make them respect you. They, keep in mind, they rape nuns, they rape babies. So those beings haven't done anything to hurt anybody. So the excuses that they would use, that they enticed me, she was too sexy, she just a hoe anyway, all this old stuff, all the justifications that they use to disrespect women don't exist in those instances. When you're dealing with children, you're dealing with young girls, young boys. None of those reasons exist, but they still will try to use them as justification for assaults, battery, and other sex crimes. But if you have a man who respects just humanity, he's going to respect you as another human being. He's not going to have to look at you and measure whether he should respect you and measure out his gentlemanly behaviors and all this kind of stuff that they do. He's just going to be a person, the kind of person who respects life, as he respects you as a woman, as a vessel of creation, and the way that life comes onto this planet. He would treat everybody, though, with respect, or he doesn't. And he's a kind and considerate and thoughtful person, or he's not. He protects people who are weaker, smaller, or older than he is, or he does not. And he doesn't turn those things off and on like a light switch when it's convenient or when he thinks it's going to get him something from somebody. He's using those behaviors as a tool to manipulate a situation for his benefit. Because when they do that kind of stuff, see, that's a sociopath. That's not a man who's giving respect. That's somebody that you need to leave alone. But the bottom line is you understand what kind of man you're dealing with, and if he's someone who really respects you and women, or women period, if you pay attention to the kind of stuff that he does and the kind of stuff that he says. But my main point I want to keep drilling home is that you should never think that anything that you did or you said caused him to disrespect you. Because, he's not a baby. He knows very well how to treat women. Anything other than a respect is basically just a test. I wrote about that in this article on my Surviving Dating blog called The Hoe Test. If you enter The Hoe Test in Google, you'll be able to find it. And so, they test you. They want to see what they can get away with. And they run this little passive-aggressive, little mind game to see if they have a way to demean and degrade you on the sly. And I think, let me give you some examples, because people are like, well, what kind of stuff is respect and what's not? And believe it or not, a lot of young women don't know because they've grown up in abusive homes or in environments, where men are just shit and don't respect women. They don't even respect themselves. So there are a lot of young women, and the older women, please bear with me, because this may seem like this is something just basic and remedial, and it may be for you. But, I have a lot of young, like high school students and young college students that come to this channel to learn. And so I have to every so often step back and give them some information that we take for granted. We already know this stuff, but they don't. And some of them are growing up in environments like foster homes, group homes, where nobody's sitting down and telling them these things. They're having to struggle through life by themselves and figure it out through trial and error. And I want to try it, if at all possible, to alleviate as much of that struggle as I can with this video, all the videos that I'm doing. So if you know some young girls who fit that description, feel free to forward this link to them, or link to the whole channel, really. But yeah, if ladies, if you experience any of these things, I have a short list I prepared, that that demonstrate marked lack of respect for you, then you need to leave that particular guy alone, because he's not the one. So let's see. If he says anything out of pocket, or anything sexual that's inappropriate for the type of relationship that the two of you have established, he's being disrespectful. A lot of you will giggle and kind of go along with it because you're uncomfortable. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to say say in return. You don't really have to say anything. All you have to do is look at him and know what time it is, and know that that is a fool, and you don't really want to be bothered with him. Because if he comes in the door being disrespectful, trust me, through any relationship that you're trying to have with him, he's going to remain disrespectful. He's going to always be hurting your feelings. He's going to always be doing something that pisses you off, and something that violates your boundaries, because he's just a fucker. And this is how guys who don't respect women behave. Okay, so saying something that's out of pocket or inappropriate, or behaving or saying inappropriately sexual things. Number 2, if he touches your body without your consent, and I don't mean just like, stop. Okay, that's not consent. Enthusiastic consent, that means you like all over dude when he's all over you. Okay, so that means it's mutual. That's what men should be looking for. Anything other than that, if a woman moves away from you, says stop, looks uncomfortable but may not say anything because she's scared, all of that, see, you're disrespecting her, you're violating her boundaries, leave her alone. Number 3, if the man hurts your child or children, physically, emotionally, or psychologically, he's being disrespectful. Under that category, of course, is hitting your children, pinching them, pushing them, choking them out, saying that they're ugly, stupid, dumb, fat, whatever. Any kind of thing that makes the child cringe and feels like they're less than what they should be, he's hurting that baby. Number 4, if he damages your property, and intentionally, I'm not talking about an accident, he's being disrespectful. If he takes things that belong to you without asking, he's being disrespectful. That's a boundary violation. If he makes promises and he doesn't keep them, he's being disrespectful. If he intentionally hurts you, he is being disrespectful. If he says he's going to be there at XYZ time and he blows you off, or he shows it whenever he gets good and goddamn ready, he's being disrespectful. If he sabotages your birth control or demands that you not use birth control or protection when he is not your husband, okay, you ain't married to this motherfucker, he is being disrespectful. If he uses language that causes you mental or emotional pain, he is being disrespectful. In that category, might be, calling you names, putting down your goals and interests, putting down anything about you, your education, the way you look, your height, weight, your cooking, whatever. He's causing you to feel shame or embarrassment, or he's being disrespectful. If he lies to manipulate and control your reality, he's disrespecting you. If he demands that you wait on him hand and foot like he's a goddamn baby, and he, what? That's disrespect. If he refuses to do his fair share with his kids, those are his goddamn kids, financially in the home, or to not share in the workload to maintain the household that you both share, then he's being disrespectful. Of course, this list is not all inclusive. It's just some things that came to my mind, real quick as I was prepping for this video. But, just think about some of the things that have happened to you, things that guys have said and done to you, and understand you do not need to feel guilty for what he did. You had no control over what he did. He is the only one that controls what he does. Okay? So stop thinking that you have all this power to make him not do stuff. I mean, other women even join in on this bullshit. It's like, the guy cheats, right? Then here they come with their shit. Well, you can't keep, you don't know how to keep your man satisfied. You don't keep your man at home. Bitch, fuck you. That's what you're supposed to say. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on, and your mama too. Everybody, fuck them all, because it's not your responsibility to monitor men's behavior. They're adults. They are the only ones responsible for what they do and what they say. And in my mind, a true man, when a man really cares about you and he cares about his children, he will go through great pains not to disrespect his partner. Knuckleheads, though, will turn around and treat you bad and then flip it around and blame you for, quote, allowing me, end quote, to disrespect you. They refuse to be accountable for it in any way, shape, or form. So again, nothing that you do is going to stop him from being a disrespectful, just jerk. There's no teaching grown men anything. You don't teach them shit. If his mother didn't do it, he didn't read it in a book, and he didn't learn it in school, then it's too late. He can do it, he can still learn it, but it's not your job to teach him how to treat you. That's his job to learn on his own. And as women, we really need to get this into our heads. We are not responsible for what men do or say. They are. That is the mantra that I want you guys to take with forward. If you don't take nothing else from this video, take that one sentence. You as a woman are not responsible for what men do or say. They are. That's it. That one sentence. So if you meet a man, you thinking you want to be, kicking it with dude, but he doesn't treat you with respect, then understand that he's not worthy. He's not worthy of your time. He's not worthy of your attention. And he's testing you to see what he can get away with because he doesn't respect you. You see what I mean? It's like if he respected you, he wouldn't run them silly little childish games, them little immature, little silly ass shit games. He wouldn't do that because he wouldn't want to confuse you. He wouldn't want to cause a rift in a relationship, and he wouldn't want to cause you any emotional pain or confusion. So my bottom line is, if it's a man who is in your world who doesn't know how to respect you, if you got a man who disrespects women, that man does not deserve to have a woman. He doesn't deserve to have the love and the devotion and the caring support and the caretaking that women give to their men. He doesn't deserve that. And be sure you don't give it to him. All right. My name is Deborrah Cooper, advice columnist on survivingdating.com. You can find more of my writing there and on askheartbeat.com. And check out our Patreon link. I could definitely use a little support here to get some better equipment to make you guys even more videos. All right. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe and come back for another video probably tomorrow. Bye-bye.